On the cruise, you talked about source doesn't see, it doesn't have taste, touch, or sight, it feels. And that was really a mind-blowing thing for me because I always felt like people were watching me and I never understood that they were really only feeling me. And it actually was a really cool moment because I realized for the first time that...
Before you go further, we want to stick something in because it might change the direction of your question, your really good question. We just want to throw this in for you. We have said that, we do say that, and we do mean that. It is how it is, that it is your physical apparatus that has the translators of the vibration that gives you taste and touch and sight and sound and so forth. So without that physical apparatus, then those experiences are different from non-physical. But the satisfaction that you feel when you taste something that you like is felt by us.
Yes, that's the part I got for the first time.
So you could say that if it tastes good to you, it tastes even better to us. But it's not because of what's going on the tongue. It's a vibrational satisfaction that is deeper and richer than anything that your physical senses give you.
Yeah, and for the first time I realized it doesn't matter what we do, it matters how we feel about what we do. And that's how that came together for me for the first time.
And now, when you get out ahead of it by segment intending before you get there, can you understand the exponential ramifications of that? When you get some momentum going before you even get into that segment, when you get yourself tuned in and in the state of satisfaction before you meet up with that segment, we want to introduce this. We haven't talked about it here, and then we want to hear you completely. It applies completely to where you're going. As we said earlier, we've been talking about segment intending right from the beginning with Jerry and Esther. And Esther had an impression that what segment intending meant was, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to intend safety to the next place. And I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to intend open traffic, things like that, which we were in agreement with. That wasn't something that we weren't encouraging her to think. But her impression still was, I'm going to hook into the source energy and then I'm going to blast it into my future segment and I'm going to get it ready for me. I'm going to change it so that when I get there, I'll like it. And not only will it change for me, it'll change for anybody else that goes anywhere I go. I'm fixing that segment. You all come along. I've cleared the way. That's kind of the way Esther was looking at it. Now she understands that what she's doing as she's segment intending, she's identifying and isolating and calibrating to this vibration of utter well-being. And sometimes she calls it clarity and love and fun. So she's accomplishing that in her being, and then she's walking that being into a segment where she will attract those things from that segment. She's not changing the segment, she's changed herself, because it's attraction, attraction, attraction. So ornery people aren't going to come to her, and people that are reckless drivers aren't going to come to her. What's a vibrational match to what she has identified? And like our friend helped us to clarify earlier, she doesn't just believe it, she knows it. She knows it. She's done it. She knows it. She feels it. She goes, and this segment is so sweet to her, and this segment is so sweet to her, and this segment is so rich. You see what we're getting at? And so
for that first time, I realized that the action isn't the important part, it's the feeling. And then you talked about, don't do anything that you don't think is appropriate. And I thought, oh, that seems judgmental. But then I realized, again, it's not a matter of whether somebody else thinks it's appropriate. The appropriateness of it is only important because it is how you feel about it. Again.
Yeah, you'll split your energy. Here's the statement that's a really easy one to get hold of, that is so easy to apply. Make a decision and line up with it. Make a decision and line up with it. Today we would say make a decision and segment intend it into place. Make a decision and then don't talk smack about it. Make a decision and line up with it. So there's a family reunion and you don't really want to go, but you feel like you should because your mother's going to be really mad at you if you don't show up. Make a decision and line up with it. So if you decide you're going to go, doesn't matter if you go or don't go, but if you decide to go, then make a list of all the reasons you're going. Don't go to please someone else. Satisfaction comes from one place and one place only: making a decision and lining up with it and moving in the direction of that decision. So don't do something because somebody else wants you to do it. You're just going through the motions and offering lip service, and it won't be fun for them either, or for you. But if you say, I'm going, and I'm going to like going, and I'm going to think about it until I find that vibrational resonance with it, and then you've lined up with it, now you're taking yourself into this environment, a new you, into this environment where you're going to have a whole series of experiences like you've never had before. It's going to be a very unusual family reunion, because they are going to find a person that they have not met before. And they're not going to be able to talk you back into your insecurities that you had since you got stuck in that little chair when you were 4 or whatever.